Okay, so for today's class, we're supposed to be doing some reading and discussing how to win an argument. Do you know what is an argument?
No.
An argument is something that happens when you and another person do not agree on something. When you say yes and your mother says no, and you say yes, no. That's an argument. So it's kind of like a fight, but only using your words to say things. Fighting usually involves your hands and pia, 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 but an argument involves the mouth. So sometimes when you have an argument, when you disagree with someone on something, do you know how to win?
No.
Do you ever argue with your friends?
No.
No? Never argue? Never say, I like this one better, but I like this one better. No, this one is much better. That one is not very good. I don't like that one. But this one is great.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I like apples. I like oranges. Apples are no good. Apples suck. I like oranges. Oranges are great. Apples, not so much. What's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit.
Yeah.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. Okay, we'll go with watermelon. Why?
It is sweet.
I would try to argue with that and say, I don't like watermelon, but I do like watermelon. Watermelon's very good. I can't argue with watermelon. Dang it. So do you ever argue with your mom? When your mom says, do your homework. But I don't want to. How does that argument go? Do your homework. Fine. Maybe argue about something else. Time for bed. Good night. No. What did you say? No. What did you say? Okay. Off to bed. So that is a kind of argument. When you disagree with someone and you start to argue about it, trying to see who is right, who is wrong. So today we're going to talk about how to win an argument. Makes it a lot easier if you had actually done it, but you say, you don't argue. Everybody argues. Who does not argue? All right, let's wait for this to load up. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's look at this one here. This one is a reading. It is a story called How to Win an Argument by Peterson. Let's start on this page here. Help me read this one, Rick.
Let's face it, some people like to argue, others don't. But either way, if you end up in an argument, only two things can happen. You can win or you lose, or you can lose.
Yeah. So when you are in an argument, do you want to win or do you want to lose?
Win.
Huh. Really? Okay. Good choice. So what do you want to argue about? When is bedtime? What time do you go to sleep?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. No. I think you should go to sleep at 8 o'clock. Oh, it's already, what? No, it's morning time for you. You're good. Okay, you're good. If you go to sleep at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock is a better time to go to sleep because then you can sleep more, right?
Yeah.
So you will go to sleep at 8 o'clock now?
No.
But you should. Why not? Explain to me why it's not a good idea to sleep at 8 o'clock.
I'll do my homework.
Do your homework. Do your homework at 6 o'clock.
The school finishes at 6 o'clock.
You always have an excuse, don't you? Do your homework at 7 o'clock.
I back home is 6:30, and I have dinner at finishes dinner at 7 o'clock.
Mm. So you can do your homework at 7:30.
Mm.
And then by 8 o'clock, you finish your homework and you go to sleep.
But the homework is a lot.
Do your homework in the morning.
The teacher
All right, so that's a kind of argument when you're trying to convince someone why something else is a better option or a better choice. All right, read the second paragraph for me.
Given a choice, what do you want to happen? Be honest. You want to win, of course. Winning is important to you because you are sure that you are right and the other person is wrong.
Yeah. So when you argue, it's usually because you think that you're right and you think the another person is wrong. So let's face it, some people like to argue, others don't. You seem like the type that doesn't like to argue. But either way, if you end up in an argument, only two things can happen. You can win or you can lose. Given the choice, what do you want to happen? Be honest. This one has a silent H, so it doesn't make the huh sound. It just says honest. You want to win, of course. Winning is important to you because you're sure that you are right and the other person is wrong. So why does the author think that you want to win an argument? The author would be the writer of the story. And why does the writer think that you want to win?
You have a choice. Be honest.
You have a choice to be honest? So you want to win because you're honest?
You know that you are right.
Yeah, and that's why you want to win, because you know that you're right. When it says be honest, it means to tell the truth and say why you want to win. And the reason why we want to win is because we know that we are right and the other person is wrong. But the other person argues for the same reason. They think that they are right and you are wrong. So somebody has to be right, somebody has to be wrong. That's the difference between arguing about something that can be true one way and false another way versus arguing about something that is based on opinion. When you argue about something that is based on opinion, like what color is better, red or blue? This is an opinion question, meaning that there is no right answer. It is what you like. If you like red better, then red is better. If you like blue better, then blue is better. Some people like red, some people like blue. And that is based on opinion. So there is no right answer for that kind of an argument. So sometimes people will argue about something like that, or which game is better, or, video game. And that's based on opinion. It just depends on what kind of game you like. So there is no real right answer for a question like that. And we're going to get into that because it's important to know. So let's start with this one. Help me read this one, Rick.
Before you start an argument, remember this. Never fight about things you don't really have one right answer.
There it is.
Favorite foods, biggest fears, stuff like that. These opinions can't really be criticized because their win is so personal. You don't bother. Nobody can bother. Nobody can win or lose when there is no right answer.
So before you start an argument, remember this: never fight about things that don't really have one right answer. That means certain things like favorite food, biggest fears, stuff like that. Favorite color. These are all things that my favorite food and your favorite food may be two different things. It doesn't mean that my food is better than your food. Maybe I like pizza, you like dumplings. What's your favorite food? Pizza.
Hamburger.
Hamburger? Hamburger's good. Hamburger is good, but I think pizza is better. Unless you can make a pizza burger. They have calzones. Calzone's kind of like, well, not really so much a hamburger. So this is kind of something you can't really argue about because there's no right answer. I mean, I like what I like, you like what you like. It doesn't mean that one is better. It just means that we like different things. These opinions, and that's an opinion, you know, everybody has their own opinion. So what I think might be different than what you think. What I think is my opinion. What you think is your opinion. And these opinions can't be criticized. When you criticize something, it means you're trying to say something bad about that. You know, I can't say hamburgers are bad because blah, 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 blah. Obviously, you know, you could go into, they make you fat, but, you know, so does pizza. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can criticize. You can say a lot of bad things about something, but it's asking the question of favorite, not what's healthy. You know, because if I ask a question, which more healthy, hamburgers or salad? That has a right answer. Because healthy food is obviously not a hamburger. It is more delicious, but it's not healthier. And even with the question of more delicious, you know, some people may think the salad is so good and not like the hamburger. Mostly girls. Boys like to be fat, so, you know. Fat hamburger, yum. All right, because they're so personal. Now, personal things are based on opinions, and you can't attack personal opinions. If you criticize or say something bad about hamburgers, then you might make that person feel bad. And you don't want to make the person that you're arguing with feel bad. You're stupid. What did you say? You know, this is something that you just don't want to do when you're arguing with somebody, because then it becomes more anger than a debate. When you debate about something, you're trying to talk about it. But when you say something bad, then it becomes more of a fight instead of an argument. So don't bother. When you don't bother with something, it means don't even try. Don't try. Just leave it alone. Nobody can win or lose when there is no right answer. That gives us onto this one. Which question about personal opinions and arguments can be answered by the underlined sentence? So the underlined sentence says, nobody can win or lose when there is no right answer. So we have three questions. 1, 2, 3. Which of these questions does this sentence answer? Why, when, or what?
What personal opinions do you have about foods and fears?
So the answer is that sentence? What personal opinions do you have about food or fears? Nobody can win or lose when there is no right answer. Here's a hint, okay? We'll use this one. Find your clue. What are some examples of opinions that do not have a right answer? Ding. Opinions about personal things like favorite foods and biggest fears do not have one right answer. So these are what we call opinions, right? And then it goes into this one. You can't criticize someone's personal opinions because it is about how that person feels, not what is right or wrong. And then it takes us into the next part here. So which question, that's weird. Which question about personal opinions and arguments can be answered by the underlined sentence? Why should you stay out of fights about personal opinions? Or when can you criticize the personal opinions of others? Can you criticize the personal opinions of others? So should you say something when you criticize the personal opinions of others? It means should you say something bad about someone thinking pizza is the best food? Should you say something bad about that?
No.
No. So we don't want to go with that one. That's not the answer. Nobody can win or lose when there is no right answer. This one tells us why you should stay out of fights about personal opinions, fights or arguments. It basically means don't argue about the fights. Don't argue or fight about personal opinions. Why? Because the underlined sentence, nobody can win or lose when there is no right answer. And in personal opinions, there is no right answer. So we go with that one there. Next sentence. Yeah. Go with this too.
During an argument, there are two words to avoid at all costs. The words are "that's stupid." Of course, you can't help think those words. After all, the person you are arguing with is at least a little foolish for not agreeing with you in the first place, right?
So, a little foolish? You say he's foolish? The other person must be foolish because they think that pizza is not the best food. What? Psst. Foolish. When you say someone is foolish, you know what foolish means, right? Stupid. Not clever. So during an argument, there are two words to avoid. When you avoid something, you stay away from them. Two words. Don't use these two words. These two words are, that's stupid. Don't use those two words. So if someone says, I like cars more than trucks, that's stupid. Wrong. I like pizza more than hamburger. That's stupid. Wrong. Because as soon as you say that, of course, you can't help but thinking those words. After all, the person the person who's saying that, you're thinking, ugh, foolish. But you can't say anything bad. And there's a reason for that. Right here in the next paragraph, it tells us why. So help me read part 2 or 3.
Just don't say "that's stupid" out loud. If you do, the other person will be insulted.
Insulted.
Insulted. And insulted people get stubborn. Stubborn. You won't change their view after that. So show some respect for the other person's point of view, or at least pretend to. You don't want hurt feelings to get in the way for your win. This is called diplomacy.
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 So it says here, just don't say "that's stupid" out loud. If you do, the other person will be insulted. When you insult someone, it's to say something really bad about them and you make that person feel bad. So when you insult them, you say something bad and they feel bad. Now, what happens when people feel bad? When they feel insulted. They get angry and they become stubborn. Stubborn people don't want to listen to you. La 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 la. I don't like pizza. Na 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 na. I mean, you can talk about it, but as soon as you say, "Not a bean, you're stupid," then they get angry and they say, and they don't want to listen to you anymore. So it's important to remain calm and try not to make them angry. Don't make someone angry when you're trying to argue with them. You can try to convince them in a way that doesn't make them angry. That's because you have to respect, when you respect someone else's point of view, you are choosing to respect someone means to like, or at least to try to understand their point of view or how they think. Why do they think pizza is better? Why do they think the color blue is better? So you have to try and think about why they might think that. And that's going to help you to win the argument. If you can understand why they feel that way, then you can win it. Or at least pretend to. So even if you don't understand it, you have to at least try to pretend. When you pretend something, it means that you say, oh, I understand. Even if you don't understand, you just say that you understand and you make them think that. You can pretend to be happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. But really on the inside, you feel angry on the inside. But here, when we pretend, we try to, on the outside, we try to show a different face. On the inside, you might have a different feeling, but on the outside, happy. Inside, happy. That is pretending. Let someone else think something. You don't want hurt feelings to get in the way of your win. So when you win, you don't want them to feel bad about you winning. Oh, I lost. You want them to feel, wow, you are so clever. You're right. Hamburgers are great. Right? See, that's what you want. You want that kind of win, not the other win. I hate hamburgers. I still hate hamburgers. So this is what we call diplomacy. Diplomacy is a way of talking to someone to make sure that everyone is happy. You want everyone to be happy, not just you are happy because you win and then they are sad. I don't care. Diplomacy is making sure that everyone is happy. This is very important, especially with, when two different countries are talking to each other about what should we do, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And they're trying to come up with some type of agreement to make both countries happy. Not just so one country is the winner, the other country, not so much. So it's important for everyone to be happy when you have an argument or disagree with something. So in this one, they got a question here. What will happen if you insult someone by saying, that's stupid, in an argument? So let's say you say, that's stupid, out loud. Then what happens? The other person will not change views. The other person will not act foolish. The other person will be able to win, will not be able to win. Yeah.
Not be able.
Here it kind of helps us to explain it in this paragraph right here.
The other person will not change views.
Yes, that's right. Even if they know that they're wrong, even if you manage to make them realize, oh, I was wrong, you've already made them feel bad. So they're not going to tell you they were wrong. So this is why it's important not to insult someone. You want them to be able to admit, yes, Rick, you are right. You are so clever, Rick. So smart. Hamburgers are so good. However, if you make that person angry, then they're not going to tell you that. They will never admit to it. They won't change. They'll say, nope, I don't care. Pizza's good. Pizza. So it's important to not insult someone. How about this one? Yeah, big paragraph. Oh, there we go. 2.
So that else is important.
What?
Well,
what else?
Oh, so what else is important? Well, take a good look at the other person's argument. Let's pretend For example, that you think one superhero movie this year was better than rest. Your friend Hector likes different one. Is there a way to take his argument apart without making fun of his movie? Maybe Hector's superhero is super wrong one moment
Ah,
and and
super.
super strong
Mm.
one moment and not so strong the next. This doesn't make any sense to you, which is why you don't love the movie.
Stop. Good. So let's go over this one. Let's see. We'll take a look at the other person's argument. Let's pretend, for example, just an idea, just this one, that you think one superhero movie. Do you like superheroes?
Yes,
Superheroes. These are those people
yes.
with the superpowers. Some people can fly. Some people are super strong. Some people have the lasers from their eyes or whatever. Or Wolverine has a little claw.
No.
No, you don't like superhero. Why am I here? Iron Man. Spider-Man. I like superhero movies. Come on. Superhero movies are great. But there are some people who say that one superhero is better than another. And if this is your argument to say that this superhero versus this superhero, who will win? One superhero vs another superhero. Who is the winner? This one is Superman versus Iron Man. Who's the winner? Some people say Superman, definitely Superman. He is so strong. Some people might say, no, it's Iron Man or, Batman. We've already seen that fight play out though. Winner is Batman. Because if you know what makes the other superhero weak, then, well, they're easy to beat. And this is, if you can understand why someone thinks another superhero is stronger, then it's easy for you to break it down and say, wrong. If you're able to understand it, then it's much easier for you to communicate and talk to that person about why they are wrong in a nice way. Not saying, nope, you're wrong because blah, blah, blah. Say, no, you know what? I think maybe, haha. Maybe such and such. How about this one here?
If possible, first find a way to admit that Hector's argument has some good points, just not enough of them for him to win. Then explain the problems, break things down, and be specific. Specific. If you can't, maybe you are the one who is wrong. Luckily, we know that's not possible.
Yeah. We know it's not possible. You are not wrong, right? Right. I'm right. So here it says, find a way to admit. When you admit to something, you agree that Hector, or your friend, that Hector's argument has some good points. That means that there are some good things about why he thinks he is right. Why this superhero is very strong. Yes, this superhero is very good because he can blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But, and then you talk about some of the problems of this superhero. He's very clever. He can fly, but he wears a suit. This is why this superhero can win, because he's very fast and very strong. So there are ways to break it down, to make it so that you are saying something nice and still helping the other person to understand why yours would still be better. Next. Well, this one's already chosen here. What should you do before you explain the problem in your friend's argument? Before you talk about his problem, what should you do first?
admit he has some good points.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's already checked. Yeah, you admit he has some good points. So you say something good first. You say, yes, he is very good. Or yes, hamburgers are very good. But pizza is better. And it says be specific. When it says be specific down here, you have to say why. Give some examples or give some sentences that say why is pizza better, or why is Superman better, why is Iron Man better. You have to give some good reasons. And if you can't, then maybe you are wrong. Maybe you are the one who is wrong. Because if you don't know why you are right, then you probably aren't. And that's the point. Ding. Next sentence. Oh, wait. Wow. Okay. Read the first half here.
Oh, and remember to stay polite. You may feel frustrated inside. Frustrated inside, but this is another time to use diplomacy. Also, be patient. Don't talk too fast. Make sure you give Hector a chance to reply.
Yes, very good. So be polite. What is polite? Remember to stay polite.
礼貌的.
Does that mean like to be nice? Yeah, you have to be nice. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are right. But yes, yes. Don't just yell at them. Wrong. Ben, stupid. You don't want to yell at them or make them feel bad. You have to always be nice and be polite. Be polite is equal to kind of being nice to them. You may feel frustrated. When somebody feels frustrated, they feel kind of angry on the inside. It's like, oh my God. So this is a frustrated feeling when you're not able to do something that you're trying to do, that you want to do. Even though you feel frustrated, you have to try and stay calm. Stay calm. And continue to talk in a normal way. Don't talk too fast. Because when you talk so fast, then nobody can hear you. What are you saying? What are you saying? Nobody wants to hear you. What? Talk slow, because they cannot understand you. I am right and you are
wrong.
Yes, good job. See? Make sure you give Hector a chance to reply. Now, the reason why we talk slow is not because they can't understand, but it's because you want to let them talk. If you let them talk, then they will let you talk. Otherwise, if you don't, and then it becomes an argument where you're trying to yell or shout over each other. So you have to make sure when you argue with someone, you say something and then you stop. And then you let them say something if they want to. Next. Actually here. Always remember to. There we
go. Always remember too, that once you've won your argument, don't rub it in. If you're nice now, you'll get a good reputation for being kind and also for being fair. Creating good feelings will come in handy for winning more arguments in the future.
Remember too that once you've won your argument, don't rub it in. Rub it in. Ha ha, you lost, I win. When you rub it in, it's like pushing their face. Ha ha, loser. Some people like to do this, you know. And this is not a nice thing to do. They say, don't rub it in. When you rub something in, you're just trying to push it into their face that they are wrong and you were right. I'm right and you're wrong. I'm right and you're wrong. Because this makes them angry. Even if they say, yes, yes, you are right. You don't want to make them feel bad. So you don't say more about it. This way, you'll get a good reputation. A reputation is what other people think about you. So if I go to your school and I ask you, and I ask some children, do you know who Rick is? And they say, oh yes, I know Rick. What kind of reputation do you have, Rick? What are the other children going to say about you? Are they going to say you are nice, or you are a mean boy, or what do they think of you? Do they like you?
Yes.
Yeah. They think you are nice?
Mm.
Okay. So Rick has a good reputation. This is how other people feel about you. You want a reputation for being kind and also for being fair. You are kind, you are nice, and you're fair, meaning that you gave them a chance to talk, and you gave them a chance to win too. Creating good feelings will come in handy. When something comes in handy, it means it will be useful later. It will come in handy for winning more arguments in the future. Later, next time. So with this one, we got a couple of blanks. We can read this one just to fill in some of the blanks. Help me read this one and fill in the blanks, Rick.
The author says that using diplomacy means being slowly.
Being slow. Here's some choices. Polite, specific, or frustrated.
Being polite.
Ah, yeah.
And giving the other person time to talk. This can help you get reputation for being kind and fair, so others will have good feelings about you.
Yeah, you want them to have feelings. Right. You want them to have good feelings about you. And that's important for others to have good feelings. Even after you win, you still want them to think you are so nice. And that's helpful when coming up with, when making friends. Even making friends, because if you argue with a friend, you don't want to lose that friend because of an argument. So being nice helps you to keep that friend, or you can even make a new friend from being nice. All right, so that's all we have for today on this one. We are going to stop here.